So Star Wars fans being outraged over the Star Wars content is nothing new, but ever since Gina Carano got fired, that outrage has been taken to another level, and the way that the Star Wars fans are showing their outrage has also been taken to another level. And it's obvious that Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney are taking notice, and the way they're responding to this outrage is pretty crazy, and it just makes them look even worse than they did before. We all know what's been happening on the Star Wars YouTube channel. For every video that they post, they're getting ratioed into oblivion, and this is even following people like Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Chapek to other YouTube channels that they go to that aren't affiliated with Star Wars, that aren't affiliated with Lucasfilm or Disney at all. And a lot of people are claiming that they canceled their Disney Plus subscription. We'll see about that when the numbers come out. And we're gonna get into some of the recent stuff that Star Wars has been posting on their YouTube channel to see the fans' outrage on those videos. But first, I want to tell you something that's pretty insane. So if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, there was a hit piece put out on Star Wars YouTubers, specifically the ones in the Geeks and Gamers community, and anyone else who doesn't like the sequel trilogy, doesn't like Disney Star Wars, calling all of those YouTubers alt-right, racist, sexist, transphobes, pretty much any buzzword that they could think of that people like to get offended over. And it was obvious the article was made to get clicks. There's no way you can actually believe all that stuff that was in that article. It was Alex Jones level of crazy. But one thing that I find extremely interesting about all of that is that Lucasfilm and Star Wars employees were backing that article. Lucasfilm employees were retweeting that article as soon as it was posted. And apparently the article was a 70-minute read. I think you gotta be kind of stupid to take 70 minutes to read that article. But even if it takes 30 minutes, those Lucasfilm employees were retweeting that article as soon as it was posted. There is no way they read that article that fast. So the people who released that article were definitely colluding with the Lucasfilm employees to promote that article before it was even released. And they probably colluded with them to make the article as well. The Lucasfilm employees probably helped them with making it. And they're trying to frame all these Star Wars fans who are outraged over their content and outraged over the Gina Carano firing as alt-right. They're trying to claim that the reason we're disliking their YouTube videos and unsubscribing from Disney Plus is because we're alt-right and racist. And that's just not true. But here's where it gets really interesting. The main thing that caused all of these Star Wars fans to come together and show our outrage to Disney and to Lucasfilm was Gina Carano being fired. And what is Gina Carano trying to be painted as? Alt-right, sexist, racist, transphobic. So if Gina Carano is being painted in that way, and all of the Star Wars fans who are outraged, who are disliking the YouTube videos and unsubbing from Disney Plus are Gina Carano supporters, then it's the perfect storm to blame it all on alt-right and white supremacy and racism and sexism. Just try and paint all of these Gina Carano supporters the same way you painted Gina Carano. It's that easy. Instead of actually trying to change the way they make their content and make good content, they're just trying to make the fans who don't like their content look like bad people. The real bad people are Disney. But it was a really good try for them to try and paint us like that. It was actually a pretty smart move, because to the general public, Gina Carano does look like an alt-right person because of the way they're treating her. If you're an outsider and you were to go on Twitter, you probably would think that she's a transphobe and a racist, but that's not true. And if you would listen to Disney and listen to Lucasfilm and listen to Rewriting Ripley, you would think the same stuff about these Star Wars YouTubers and these Star Wars fans that are outraged over the content that's being released. You would think that everyone that's disliking the Star Wars YouTube channel videos are just alt-right supporters of Gina Carano, when we really just don't like your content. And like I've said before, I'm sure these Disney execs thought this situation was going to blow over. I thought it was going to blow over too. Most of the times when fans are outraged like this, the situation lasts for a week, maybe two, especially when they're showing their outrage as much as Star Wars fans are this time around. This usually doesn't last long at all, but they're still going strong. The Star Wars YouTube channel posted a video a few days ago on March 18th. That video has 37,000 views, 1.8k likes, and 7,000 dislikes. Once again, being ratioed into oblivion. If this doesn't prove that we aren't in the minority, then I don't know what does. Because I really don't think that the majority of Star Wars fans are in the Geeks and Gamers community, are in the Star Wars YouTube space that we're in. I think this is a very small minority, but I definitely think that the majority of Star Wars fans support Gina Carano and definitely don't support her firing. And I also think the majority of Star Wars fans aren't extremely happy with the content that's being released. I think even if you like the sequel trilogy, even if you love the High Republic, Star Wars fans can still acknowledge that it can get better if someone runs Star Wars that knows what they're doing. If someone were to run Star Wars that actually knows about Star Wars. And I'm not even talking about just the studio head. I'm not even talking about just Kathleen Kennedy's position. I'm talking about just the story team. Apparently Pablo Hidalgo is the head of the story group, and he's following the account that posted that Star Wars hit piece that called all of the Disney Star Wars haters alt-right. If you can't see it by now, then you'll never be able to see it. These people that work for Lucasfilm, that work for Disney, they don't care about you. They don't care about making good content. They definitely don't have those values that Bob Chapek said that they have. They only want money, and they will do whatever they have to do to whoever they have to do it to make sure that they get that money. The most recent video on the Star Wars YouTube channel was posted on March 19th. That video has 40,000 views, 1.9k likes, and 7.6k dislikes. So the ratios aren't slowing down at all. It's been over a month since the Gina Carano firing. It might even be close to 2 months at this point, and the ratios are still coming in every single video. Star Wars even took a little bit of a break from posting High Republic trailers on their YouTube channel, and they tried to post it on Instagram, and we all know how that worked out. They ended up deleting the video off of Instagram a few hours later, but Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney are definitely taking notice of these ratios that are happening. It's pretty impossible not to, but the fact that they took that little break from their YouTube channel, from posting High Republic videos on their YouTube channel, and tried to go to Instagram to escape the ratios, just shows that they're taking notice. Now, the fact that they're taking notice isn't really going to change that much. The thing that's actually going to cause change is if they see that people are actually unsubscribing from Disney Plus. Because as much as I hate to say it, Disney doesn't really care if their videos are getting disliked. It's still important because it causes them to take notice, and I'll tell you why it's even more important in a second. But what Disney really cares about is money. If they start losing money on Disney Plus and at the box office when it comes back, that's when they'll take notice. And the reason why disliking these YouTube videos and spamming the comments with Gina Carano quotes is important is because when they do take notice of them losing money, they're going to try to figure out why. And they have to go no further than the Star Wars YouTube channel. All they have to do is look at one video on the Star Wars YouTube channel, see the crazy amounts of dislikes, and then scroll down to the comment section and you'll see exactly why people aren't going to see your movies or aren't subbing to Disney Plus. Why the Bad Batch numbers are struggling so much. Why people aren't watching the Book of Boba Fett. That's what's going to cause change. And I doubt Disney will ever change their morals, but I'm saying it will cause change inside of Star Wars. Disney and all the other big corporations will always do bad things. They'll always be bad people with no morals, but at the least we can get some good Star Wars out of it. If they start losing money because of the decisions that Kathleen Kennedy is making, because of the decisions that Pablo Hidalgo is making, then they'll have no choice but to get rid of them. And I'm not calling for boycotts. I'm not a fan of boycotts at all, but I am a big fan of voting with your dollar. If in your opinion Disney is making good enough content for you to buy Disney Plus and watch all of their shows, then I have no problem with that. I run a Star Wars YouTube channel, so I'm going to pay for Disney Plus to watch The Bad Batch and to watch the Book of Boba Fett. And if you totally disagree with that decision, then I respect it. If you're canceling Disney Plus and never resubscribing, then I respect that 100%. But I think each person needs to make their own individual decision. But regardless, I think their numbers are going to struggle a lot. And I think if the fans keep this up, by the end of this year, we see some big changes at Lucasfilm. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation, about the hit piece, about the way that Lucasfilm employees are responding to the situation, and the fact that they're trying to paint all of these Star Wars fans who are outraged as alt-right, and all the rest of those buzzwords that get clicked. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you hate Kathleen Kennedy as much as I do, check out my Ruined by Kathleen Kennedy merch linked in the description. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.